half of you all camera on, or else I'll be talking to myself. Hi, Vika, great. Hi, everyone. Assalamualaikum. Good morning.
Waalaikumsalam. Good morning, Ate.
Morning. Okay. Congratulations to all of you for joining my class. This is the first batch of class that I'm going to teach for this semester. So you guys are the first batch. Previously, it was Dr. Hassan. Dr. Hassan is now, well, technically he's retired, but he will join in as well later on. And Pro Sharif will also join in. He is fully retired, but I've asked him to help me teach you guys a few lectures. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and start recording. Okay. All right. So welcome to Aquatic Animal Health and Management. For undergraduate, it's VPK 4962. The lecturers will be myself as the course coordinator, Dr. Hassan, Prof. Datuk Sharif, and Dr. Anas. Okay. Lectures on Fridays 9 to 11 and Amali on Monday 10 to 1. Alright, if you go through the synopsis, we'll start with, if we're talking about the lectures, we'll start with a little bit on introduction of aquatic animals, aquaculture systems. So there are 2 lectures there, 2 and 3. And then introduction to ectoparasite and endoparasites. So this will be covered by Prof. Datuk Sharif. Okay. And then you'll have your test 1. And then we'll go to chemotherapy and vaccines, anesthesia and surgery by myself. And then we'll have your mid-sem break. And then Dr. Hassan will teach you on infectious diseases, bacteria, fungus and viruses, and also water quality parameters. And I'll take the second last lecture on pemakanan, nutrition and diseases caused by nutrition and genetic and tumors. I think there's one week that is not filled with any lecture, 1 week yang kosong. I'll maybe do just kind of like sum up what we learned through the semester, all right? For Amali, so today is actually supposed to be mengenali introduction to commercially important fish species, but I will start with the lecture first, all right? So on Friday, you will have the Amali. And then lecture 2, 3, 4, and actually up to lecture 6 will be online. I'm not sure what Dr. Anas will do, but I think it's most probably going to be online as well. Lecture 5 is still online. All right, from lecture 7, take note, yeah, Amali 7. Amali 7, we will start with the actual hands-on lab, okay, if we are permitted. Lecture 7 onwards, okay? Lecture 7 onwards. So what we do usually is the staff will buy the fish on Friday, and we will, right, doesn't matter. And we will do our practical on Monday morning lah, okay? Alright. Alright, any question on synopsis? Ada tak? If not, then I will start with the lecture. Any question? 1, 2, 3.
No.
All right, great. I'll close this. And I'll share this. All right. So if I click here for the presentation, I cannot see your faces. So is it all right if I do like this? Can you all see?
It's fine.
All right, great. Okay, so we'll begin with the lecture first. I promise you it will be quite brief, a lot of pictures. We'll see how it goes. All right.
Okay,
So
doctor.
great. Just like my predecessor, Prof. Sharif, you always start with some quotes. But I like to start with some cartoon quotes because I have a daughter. All right. So I hope you are ready for your actual clinical years for the undergraduate. All right. So these are just some quotes that I like. All right. Our fate lives within us, but you only have to be brave enough to see it. So you have to be brave throughout your clinical years. It's going to be tough for you. I'm very sure of that. But enjoy it because once you graduate, you will look back and remember all the great memories that you had during your final and clinical years. All right. So I hope you're like SpongeBob. You're ready to go. I've mentioned before, kuliah amali, test 1, test 2, and final exam. Unfortunately for you, you are the first batch that I'm teaching. So your questions for exams and tests will not be the same as Dr. Hassan's and Prof. Sharif's. All right, keep that in mind. So spotting questions is 50-50, all right? So this is an important thing that I want to tell. For Amali, the actual practical class for face-to-face class, please have at least 2 dissecting kits per group each time, each session, all right? At least 2. Okay, we do not want you to be sharing between the groups or you do not have enough tools for you to do the practicals, okay? And very important for welfare and humane killing, not all the time we will use anesthetic agents, okay? Sometimes we will use pitting. So you will need fresh new blades each session, yeah. Make sure it's still in that apa tu dia punya plastic or the foil, okay? So sometimes we need to pit the fish instead of using anesthetic because it will take a bit longer. Pitting is quite quick. And after that we can proceed with our practicals. And I expect at least lah, please have, and although you tak basuh 1 week, but clean lab coats lah. At least it looks clean, okay? Each week I will assign 1 group to help my staff, okay? To bring in probably the fish or aquariums from Makmal Aquatic. So Makmal Aquatic is like on the first floor, on top of, if you imagine, it's on top of BKVC. So it's opposite Surau Lelaki. If you look up, so you'll see the Makmal, okay? So here is her phone number. Group leaders lah, group leaders, just text her. Say what, if you're assigned that week, means that you need to see her the Friday before. All right? Is that understood? The Friday before. So contact her on Friday morning and ask her what she needs to bring down to MM1. Okay tak? Faham tak? Is that understood? I suppose you understood because you're quiet. Okay? Alright, you understood. Okay. Keep the table clean and dry after each session. We will play with fish, therefore it will be wet. Your table will be wet. Your shoes will be wet. So I hope that you will help the staff to organize. There's a lot of you and there's very little of us. All right, there are only me, myself, Puan Latifah, Encik Azmi and Encik Zainal. Okay, there are only 4 of us plus Dr. Fuad if he's coming in to join us. Okay. So we have a bit of a challenge this time. Per practical, supposedly practical morning and malam kan and at night. I suppose no one wants to do the practical at night. So what we will do is we will divide you into kumpulan 1 and kumpulan 2. So we will have to kumpulan 1 will go in first. Okay? For the first 1.5 hour on one side of, for example, left side or front side of the makmal first. So everything will be ready for you to do the practical. So make sure you know what you are going to do on the day of the practical. And then after you're done, clean up, help the staff to clean up. And then the next group will come in. Okay? So that is how we are going to tackle the situation, right? Because we do not want to be in trouble with the authority. Okay, is that okay? We try that first. If it doesn't work out, probably we have to do the amali at night. But I don't think it's that is possible. Okay, so keep that in mind. Go in first for 1.5 hours, and then the next group will come in for the next 1.5 hours. So make sure the first group that goes in, clean up after yourself so that the next group can have the practical session will go smoothly. All right. Okay, so I suppose from all the years that I went into the practicals, I've seen students treat fish like they do not have any feelings. Okay, so fish can feel too. So please be gentle and kind. And if you see a mess, pitch in and clean it. Okay, that's my advice for the practical, so that all of you will have the same equal opportunity to have a hands-on on the practical. All right, so I'll begin the lecture officially now. So we are taking this class called Aquatic Animal Health and Management. So this is more of the management part. All right. Why is it important? Importance of fisheries and aquaculture. Firstly, it's a major sector. It's a big sector, right? It provides you with food and nutrition, right? So it gives food security and nutrition. It provides job opportunities for a lot of people in the world, including women. Therefore, it supports livelihood of people, and it is one of the most traded agricultural commodity in the world. All right, and including us, it is part of our culture and the life of our people. Right, fishermen, local villagers. All right, they rely on fish to survive and to support their livelihood. All right. So this is just an example when this is called a floating cage. So if you see here, these constructed wood panels with floating barrels, right? So here are the nets. So each of these net, there are fish inside. So this is a grouper fish farm, all right, that I went to in Sabah. So this is what a floating fish cage looks like. All right, just an introduction. All right, so fisheries and aquaculture supports livelihood. So the grouper farm that we saw just now, so it provides fish for us to eat. All right, not just groupers, other fish species. Okay, so if you go to Mydin and Tesco, I like to go to Mydin and Tesco, just look at the price and you can see the price fluctuates each festive season, especially Chinese New Year. All right, the grouper, I think marble gobi, ketutu, the price fluctuates every year, each festive season. So fish is a part of our culture as well, right? So because I assume that different cultures like different for the Chinese, the grouper is like apa orang kata, it shows I'm not sure kemakmuran or something like that. Alright. So it is near with our culture. So if we talk about fisheries, okay, these are the capture fisheries. So there are two types, kan, just that I mentioned just now. So it's either we go out and capture the fish or we farm them, or it's called aquaculture. For capture fisheries, Asia accounts for 66% of the fish that landed. All right, so that's a lot. we are taking a lot from our side of the seas, while the rest of the world is around. This includes Western Europeans, 34%. Sorry, give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes.
We can't hear you, Doctor.
Sekarang pun tak dengar eh?
Boleh dah.
Oh, boleh. Alright, great. Sorry, I have a cat. Actually, I have 2 cats. Alright, okay. So the rest of the world, 34%. Alright, so Asia punya capture is high lah. Alright. Oops. Alright, and this is an example of capture fisheries lah. So these big vessels go out to the sea and they use various methods to capture the fish. So you can see each time they capture the fish, they obtain various species, not only just one lah. Alright. So these are, I think it's tuna fish. Looks like tuna fish, right? So we are taking more and more from our seas. Alright. So our seas, ocean wildlife stocks are more or less depleting. Alright, if you see fisheries in just our region, Southeast Asia, importance of it is like our production it has increased over 14 years, and you can see 8.8 million of capture fishes in Southeast Asia. 11% of the fisheries are in Southeast Asia. We produce 42 million megatons of fisheries, and the projected value of it is $43 billion. Okay. So why people like to eat fish? Fish is a major source of good omega-3 fats, and there are a lot of studies and literatures that shows strong evidence that eating fish is good for the heart and the blood vessels. So basically, generally good for our cardiovascular systems. Not only that, fish tastes good, right? Some of us prefer fish over other kind of meat. Okay. So this is just an example. So basically the title said that marine omega-3, so this specifically says about marine fish. Fatty acids for cardiovascular system, there is an association with higher intake of fish, fatty acids, or high level of EPA and DHA in the body to lower the risk of developing cardiovascular disease. All right, so basically eating fish is not only nutritious, but it is healthy, it's good for you. So as I said before, it's rich in omega-3, vitamin A for fighting for your immune system, zinc, calcium, iron, and of course, protein, all right? So Pro Sharif likes to show pictures of food, so I will also do the same because it makes me want to eat a lot of fish. So Malaysians, we like to cook our fish. You know, they make curries. And while the other people, Japanese or you know, other Asian countries, they eat raw or semi-cooked fish. Alright. Either way, apa tu, fresh fish will always, I assume, will always taste nice. Alright. Other than the fish meat itself, so people are now selling, alright, advertising fish oils, alright. So there are a variety of fish oils you can get in the market. So some are expensive, some are not expensive, but I suppose it depends on the fish species that you are inclined on, alright. Some are maybe exposed to certain toxins and so on. Alright, not sure, but be careful. Always read the labels before you want to buy something. Not promoting any of these brands. It's just a snapshot of whatever that I got off the search engine. Alright, so I had an opportunity to visit a market overseas. So as you can see, the fish species is different. So previously we had grouper and snapper. So overseas they have haddock, cod, and salmon. Alright, so different regions will have different fish species that they either catch or they culture. Alright, beside fish, we like to eat shrimp or prawn. Alright, although there is this well-known fact, or not fact, well-known saying that shrimp is high in cholesterol, but you need to understand that it is also full of nutrients, including antioxidants and omega-3 fatty acids. It is the dosage that is the drug. So if you limit your intake, then you can more or less control the amount of cholesterol that you are taking. Alright. So shrimp in the restaurant, they use you cook it this way. Okay. So in Malaysia, fish consumption is the highest in Malaysia. Okay, as reported by this study or this paper. It says that a high percentage, 37% of us eat fish and seafood on a daily basis, and the majority, 54%, eat fish once to 3 times a week. So our consumption is high, but we will see our aquaculture, how is it like? Okay, our consumption is very high, among the highest in the world, but our production, our aquaculture is probably will not be able to meet our demand and consumption. So comparing from